Mr. Mercer, would you please read the statement to bring us back into open session?
Chair Swigert, I move that the record shows that the only items discussed in the closed meeting were those specifically cited in the motion to convene into the closed meeting and those lawfully exempted from statutory meeting requirements.
Is there a second? Seconded by Mr. Lamonia. Is there any discussion? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed? Dr. Smith.
Motion carries with all board members voting yes.
Dr. Cotton, do you have items resulting from closed session?
Yes, Madam Chair, thank you. The following administrative appointments are submitted for board approval. Ms. Tawanda L. Shirley, Director of Special Education, Suffolk Public Schools, to Director of Exceptional Learning, Edwards Wilson Center. Mr. Chad D. Triolet, Assistant Principal, Jolliffe Middle School, to Principal, Sparrow Road Intermediate. And Mrs. Yolanda S. Vaughn, Assistant Principal, Camelot Elementary, to Principal, Camelot Elementary, and these positions will be effective July 1st with board approval.
I'll entertain a motion for approval. Moved by Mr. Lamonia, seconded by Mr. Mercer. Is there any discussion? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed? Dr. Smith.
Motion carries with all board members voting yes.
I'll entertain a motion on the appeal pursuant to Policy 9-21. Dr. Walker.
I move to uphold the superintendent's recommendation.
Is there a second? Seconded by Mr. McCormick. Is there any discussion? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed? Dr. Smith.
Motion carries with all board members voting yes.
We will now move on to the invocation and the Pledge of Allegiance. At this time, I'd like to call upon Reverend Dr. Tommy P. Smith from Divine Baptist Church, who will give the opening invocation. Afterward, I'll ask Andrew Murtis, a fourth grader from Grassfield Elementary School, to lead us in the pledge. Please stand as you are able.
Let us pray. Almighty God, creator of the universe, giver of every good gift and perfect gift, we are grateful for your blessings, and we pray for the continued success throughout this school district while providing quality educational opportunities for all children. Bless the members of this school board and the administrative body with wisdom, courage, strength, as you guide them in their deliberations and decision-making processes. Grant them the insight to lead with integrity, to ensure fairness for all those who have placed trust and confidence in their leadership. And finally, we pray that you grant them the humility to avoid short-sightedness and pettiness, to seek your will in all things. It is in your holy and righteous name we pray. Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you so much to Reverend Smith and to Andrew for joining us tonight. We appreciate you being here. We are now moving on to awards and recognitions. The first item of recognition is the 2023-2024 CMSL Winter Chesapeake Champions. Dr. Smith.
Thank you, Chair Swigert. Tonight we are excited to recognize several of our Winter Chesapeake champions. And at this time, I would like to invite Mr. Kevin Cole, Supervisor of Student Activities and Facility Use, to the podium to facilitate the awards for these students. I will ask Chair Swigert and Dr. Cotton to join me at the awards table for this presentation.
Madam Chair, members of the school board, Dr. Cotton, and members of the superintendent staff, good evening. Tonight we will recognize the 2023 Winter Chesapeake Middle School League champions. These students and coaches were members of a tournament championship team or won an individual Chesapeake Middle School League championship. At this time, would Group 1 middle school student athletes and coaches please come forward to stand as directed by Mr. Trebus. As a reminder, parents, the board is photo friendly, so if you would like to come up and get that perfect picture, please do so at this time. These students and coaches are here to represent their championship team. When I call your name, please take a step forward. Alfonso Leary, Valentino Shaw, Raycon Pryor, and Coach Curtis Chapman are from Indian River Middle School. The Indian River Middle School boys basketball team finished the regular season with a record of 9-0 and were the Chesapeake Middle School League citywide tournament champions with an overall record of 11-0. Sydney Hughes, Kiera Jones, Brianna Warner, Coach William Elliott are also from Indian River Middle School. The Indian River Middle School girls basketball team finished the regular season with a record of 9-0 and were the Chesapeake Middle School League citywide tournament champions with an overall record of 11-0. At this time, I would ask any other members of the team, members of the families, friends, or staff representing these students to also stand to be recognized. Congratulations to all of you, and at this time, please move to your right to meet the members of the board. At this time, will the Group 2 middle school student athletes and coaches please come forward and stand as directed by Mr. Trebus. Yeah, they can. That's fine. Stand behind me. They want to see you. They don't want to see me. There we go. These students and their coaches are here to represent the championship team. When I call your name, please take one step forward. Aiden Fox, Nicholas Nepper, William Rosenberger, and Coach Sean Katz are from Hugo Owens Middle School. The Hugo Owens Middle School wrestling team won the CMSL citywide tournament with a score of 226.5 points. The following students finished first in the CMSL wrestling tournament in various weight classes. Again, when I call your name, please take one step forward. LaSalle Goodman is from Deep Creek Middle School. LaSalle finished first in the 157-pound weight class. With him is Coach Shane Martin. Hayden Archbell is from Great Bridge Middle School. Hayden finished first in the 86-pound weight class. With him is Coach P.J. Newman. Dennis Bruin is from Hickory Middle School. Dennis finished first in the 129-pound weight class. With him is Coach Dakota Thomas. Morrison Motley is from Hugo Owens Middle School. Morrison finished first in the 74-pound weight class. Sean Roddy is from Hugo Owens Middle School, and Sean finished first in the 103-pound weight class. With them is Coach Sean Katz. Nathan Lanou is from Jolliffe Middle School. Nathan finished first in the 80-pound weight class. Javon Crawford is from Jolliffe Middle School. Javon finished first in the 92-pound weight class. Paul Eaton is from Jolliffe Middle School, and Paul finished first in the 98-pound weight class. Connor Pickering is also from Jolliffe Middle School, and Connor finished first in the 108-pound weight class. Wyatt Graham is from Jolliffe Middle School. Wyatt finished first in the 136-pound weight class. And Benjamin Crateris is from Jolliffe Middle School, and Benjamin finished first in the 143-pound weight class, and with them is Coach Ricky Anderson. Charlton Lucas is from Oscar Smith Middle School. Charlton finished first in the 175-pound weight class. Reginald Wallace is also from Oscar Smith Middle School. Reginald finished first in the 220-pound weight class. With them is Coach William Blow. Carter Baker is from Western Branch Middle School. Carter finished first in the 115-pound weight class. Frankie Juggling is from Western Branch Middle School. Frankie finished first in the 122-pound weight class. And Alex Freeney is also from Western Branch Middle School, and Alex finished first in the 150-pound weight class, and with them is Coach Ricky Anderson. At this time, I would ask other members of the team, members of the families, friends, or staff representing these students to also stand to be recognized. Congratulations to all of you, and at this time, please move to your right to meet the members of the board. At this time, would Group 3 middle school students and coaches please come forward and stand as directed by Mr. Trebus. Group 3. Yeah, don't stand behind.
Slide down. Slide down all the way. Slide down. Keep going. Try and move this way. Slide down.
These students and their coaches are here to represent their championship team. When I call your name, please take one step forward. Kinley McCullough, Faith Durrell, Bennett Sims, and Coach Ryan Brown. They are from Jolliffe Middle School. Jolliffe Middle School won the CMSL debate team title at the 2023-2024 CMSL debate competition. Willa Sargent. Willa is from Western Branch Middle School, and she won first place in the Tidewater House competition. Queen Shakira. Queen is from Western Branch Middle School, and she won first place in the Hampton Roads House and was the overall outstanding senator. With them tonight is Coach Alex Mueller. William Hodel, Sarah Vera, and Shive Alley, and coaches Taylor Smith and Amy Rector. They are from Great Bridge Middle School, and Great Bridge Middle School won the forensics team title at the 23-24 CMSL forensics tournament competition. Alicia Camaso. Alicia is from Hickory Middle School, and Alicia won first place in the original oratory category. With her is Coach Shonda Sigage and Cindy Holloway. William Hodel. William is from Great Bridge Middle, and William won first place in the pros category. With him is coaches Taylor Smith and Amy Richter. Amaja Alexander. Amaja is from Crestwood Middle, and Amaja won first place in the poetry category. With her are her coaches Laverne Madu and Shirley Dowding. At this time, I'd ask other members of the team, members of the families, friends, or staff here representing these students to also stand to be recognized. Congratulations to all of you, and at this time, please move to your right to meet the members of the board. Madam Chair, this concludes my presentation.
Thank you. Next on the agenda is the resolution for the month of the military child. Dr. Smith.
Thank you, Chair Swigert. At the request of the superintendent, we have prepared a resolution that would commemorate April 2024 as the month of the military child. Joining us, we have several special guests. I would like to invite Mrs. Laura Lerf, our Family and Community Engagement Specialist, to the podium, who will present the resolution and introduce our guest.
Good evening. I'm honored to be here tonight along with Captain Matthew Fraunzimmer, Commanding Officer, and Mrs. Tiffany Johnson, School Liaison, both from NSA Hampton Roads. We would like to present for your consideration a resolution commemorating April as Month of the Military Child. Thanks to a strong partnership, we have the honor of supporting our schools in their efforts to recognize, celebrate, and support our military-connected families. The resolution states, whereas the Commonwealth is home to more than 80,000 school-age military-connected children, and whereas military families in Virginia include men and women on active duty service in the Air Force, Army, Coast Guard, Marine Corps, and Navy, and members of the Reserves and the National Guard, and whereas Virginia is a proud member of the Interstate Compact on Educational Opportunity for Military Children, which addresses key transition issues encountered by military-connected children, including enrollment, placement, attendance, eligibility, and graduation, and whereas military-connected children often demonstrate resilience, perseverance, maturity, and cultural competence in the face of frequent moves, family separations through deployments, and reintegration following deployments. And whereas military-connected children provide unique and valuable perspectives on learning, friendship, and service to others, and whereas the Month of the Military Child provides an opportunity to salute our military-connected children and acknowledge the contributions they bring to their families, our schools, our communities, and our Commonwealth, and whereas across the nation, individuals are encouraged to wear purple on April 15th, 2024, in celebration of Purple Up for Military Kids, to show support for military-connected children and to thank them for their strength and sacrifices. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Chesapeake School Board recognizes April 2024 as Month of the Military Child and encourages schools and communities to celebrate this recognition with activities to honor the contributions of our students from military families. Be it further resolved that the Chesapeake School Board expresses its sincere gratitude to military-connected children throughout the Commonwealth for their service to our great nation. The resolution is attested by each member of our school board, our superintendent, and clerk of the board. At this time, Madam Chair, I respectfully request the adoption of this resolution.
I'll entertain a motion for approval. Moved by Mr. Mercer. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Mr. Poole. Is there any discussion? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. All opposed? Dr. Smith.
Motion carries with all board members voting yes.
Thank you.
Thank you, and thank you all for being here. We will now move on to the hearing of citizens. During their allotted time, speakers should observe our rules of decorum and know that expression of concerns and criticism on matters of school policy and operations is welcome. While the speaker's own comments are welcome, they may not play pre-recorded messages. Dr. Smith, are there any citizens who have requested time to speak this evening?
Yes, Chair Swigert, we have 2 citizens signed up to speak.
I want to thank those speakers who have signed up to address the board this evening. There are 2 ways that citizens can request time to speak at the meeting. You can call the clerk's office before 12 noon the day of the meeting, or sign up to speak prior to the start of the meeting. All in-person requests to speak must be submitted to the deputy clerk 5 minutes prior to the published meeting start time. Each speaker will have 3 minutes to address the board. Once your allotted time is over, we ask that you promptly exit the podium. You may choose to sit in the boardroom if seats are available, but standing or sitting on the floor is not permitted, and you may not block the exit doors. We would also like to ask that you refrain from any behavior that disrupts the meeting, including the use of profanity, applause, cheering, or jeering. Dr. Smith, please call the first speaker.
Yes, I'd like to invite speaker number 1 to the podium. Speakers are called in numerical order and asked to state their name and city of residence for the record before they begin.
Vic Nichols, Chesapeake. I'd like to honor April Erickson Jackson. She's an aerospace engineer and the first woman to earn a PhD in mechanical engineering. I'm delighted to see folks achieve. I love watching these things because, see, the disabled can't even get parking discrimination or parking accommodations. Discrimination is alive and well. So at least you get joy from seeing some people make it. I've spoken for years regarding the incorrect direction surrounding COVID in schools. Not long after applying to be a member of the school's health committee, because political ideology and science ruled, instead, I was doxxed at work. The schools apparently do not hold people's information private, nor do you know where that information has been shared. That was all for standing up for the truth, because kids are worth it. And you know what? Even after all that and everything I took, they still are. And I ain't backing down from that. Kids need to see that. Y'all know that their mental health is going down. I get the reports. They need to know that they're worth standing up for and that you're not going to back down. I'll hand in another committee application, but it's not going to be with all the information requested. But I want to make sure that folks know how they might be treated and to make sure it doesn't happen to others. Because again, kids are worth it. Thank you.
Speaker number 2, it's your turn at the podium. Please state your name and city of residence before you begin.
Hi, good evening, everyone. My name is Jennifer Knight, and I live in the city of Chesapeake. Thank you so much for hearing me tonight. I hope to share some resources and information, as well as perhaps plant some seeds. Not sure if Dr. Smith has given you all those seeds, but plant some seeds that will grow and flourish. As you may or may not know, last week was National Agriculture and Agricultural Literacy Week, and I'm wondering if or how it was recognized and celebrated in our schools. According to the latest United States Department of Agriculture census data, the Commonwealth of Virginia has lost 4,230 acres of farmland in this census cycle, which is roughly 10% of our farms. How did the Commonwealth respond? Well, in one word, swiftly, as it is our largest industry in the Commonwealth, producing $82.3 billion per year. On March 19th, Governor Youngkin signed into law 2 bills protecting Virginia's agricultural and forested lands, creating the Office of Working Lands Preservation. If I were to ask you, where does the farmer with the highest yield of corn per acre in the nation live? Would you guess Iowa, Nebraska, Indiana? No, it's actually Chesapeake, Virginia. So, how are we responding on the local level? So, here are the resources that I wanted to share. Virginia.agclassroom.org has great resources for students like scholarships, amazing resources for teachers like grants, fellowships, and lesson plans that are aligned K through 12 to science, social studies, and nutrition, as well as opportunities for volunteers. Another great resource is our Virginia Dare Soil and Water Conservation District that has educational components as well. When we're looking at CTE, career and technology education strands, are we looking at sustainability? If we are looking at a sustainability strand, I'm wondering how natural of a fit agriculture would be in conjunction with horticulture and landscaping. And if we could consider the potential farm-to-table relationship with culinary arts and our local eateries. Lastly, many community members in rural Chesapeake wonder what happened to Future Farmers of America student organizations. In rural Chesapeake, we're losing farmland at an alarming rate. And as the city of Chesapeake formulates its response plan, all parents and educators know that our children are already formulating the solutions. I just ask that we are all working together to create those opportunities and pathways to access that knowledge and success. Thank you again so much for hearing me tonight.
This concludes our speakers for this evening.
Thank you for sharing your comments. Our practice is to receive information. However, we do not usually engage in dialogue, and that is our intent tonight. If appropriate and not already provided, someone from the superintendent's staff will evaluate your concern and provide a response. We will now move on to the consent agenda. I'll entertain a motion for approval. Moved by Dr. Walker. Is there a second? Seconded by Mr. Lamonia. Is there any discussion? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. All opposed? Dr. Smith.
Motion carries with all board members voting yes.
We are now moving on to the information agenda. The first item is the monthly financial report. Ms. Lucente.
Thank you, Madam Chair. In your packet, you have the financial report for the month of February, as well as the financial documents. We are still expecting a state shortfall, but we did receive $53 million in the month of February, and 31 was from the state, 22 from the city. Balance was federal and local. Our expenditures are still being impacted by inflation, but we are not going to have a deficit. At least that's my parting words on it. But the revenues are looking good. Our federal is making up for the state, and expenditures are about in line where we expected them to be based on everything we've been seeing. So I'm available for questions if you have any.
I see no questions at this time. Thank you, Ms. Lucente. The next item is the 2024 summer school information. Ms. Edwards.
Good evening. While it's just March and spring break is just a week away, for several months, numerous central office staff and leaders from our schools have been planning summer learning for our students. So tonight I would like to introduce Mrs. Kimberly McGrath, our Director of Academic Support, and she will present our plan for summer school 2024.
Thank you, Ms. Edwards. Good evening, Chair Swigert, Vice Chair Mercer, esteemed members of the school board, Dr. Cotton, and cabinet officials. Tonight, I aim to provide you with a glimpse into the upcoming summer educational endeavor tailored for approximately 3,000 of our students. Our summer learning program's objectives are very clear: to assist students with substantial learning gaps in catching up and continuing on their path to graduation, to increase in-person high school learning support and successful completion of summer courses, prioritizing academic instruction, and to add reading specialists to each site to meet each student's unique learning needs. We worked closely with administrators to define criteria that guarantee a focused approach to student advancement. Although summer school is a more compact program compared to the regular academic year, preparation for the following year's summer learning begins promptly after the conclusion of the current year. While Lisa Delisle, Supervisor of Intervention and Extended Learning Programs, oversees the coordination of summer school within the Division of Academic Support, it requires extensive collaboration among the departments listed here. It necessitates collective effort from all of us, with our primary aim solely focused on student learning. Let's begin by exploring elementary learning. This 4-week program will run from Monday through Thursday, 7:35 to 8:35 a.m., spanning from June 24th to July 25th. It will be hosted at 6 of our elementary schools, as well as CSIP. The main goal of this summer learning initiative is to address learning gaps while including an introduction to CTE opportunity for our rising 5th grade students. For the summer of 2024, we're thrilled to announce the addition of 2 reading specialists at each site to offer targeted small group reading instruction. Additionally, an Introduction to Career and Technical Education, CTE, program is available for rising 5th graders. This program allows students to explore career and technical education elective options offered in the middle school. The Introduction to CTE program will be held at 4 of our middle school sites. Moreover, specialized services will be provided for our English language learners and exceptional learners to meet their unique needs and during the summer program. Now let's take a look at our middle school summer learning. From June 24th to July 30th, middle school students have the opportunity to attend 2 10-day sessions held from 8:45 to 12:45 p.m. at Deep Creek, Hickory, or Oscar Smith High School. The primary focus is again addressing learning gaps. In alignment with elementary summer learning, each site will have 2 reading specialists available to provide targeted small group reading instruction. These sites will also offer specialized services catered to our English language learners and exceptional learners. Finally, on to high school, featuring a new approach for summer 2024. The high school summer learning program aims to provide students with a chance to enroll in courses for initial credit or to retake courses that they did not pass during the regular school year, ensuring they can stay on track with graduation. This summer, both in-person and virtual programs are available, with an increased focus on in-person learning. Students enrolled in credit recovery and SOL quick review courses will receive their instruction in person. Exceptional learners and English learners will also attend in person at Deep Creek, Hickory, or Oscar Smith High. SOL Quick Review aims to offer extra instruction and support to students preparing to retake end-of-course SOL tests. Credit Recovery focuses on English, math, history, science, and economics personal finance courses for students in grades 9 through 12. In-person sessions will be held on alternate days, with English and history on Mondays and Wednesdays, and math and science on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Credit recovery teachers will be present to guide students through learning modules, while tutors will be on site to provide personalized assistance as needed. Online credit-bearing courses will be offered through Chesapeake Virtual Academy. Students enrolled in CVA courses will pay a $300 fee. Those eligible for reduced lunch will pay $150, and those qualifying for free lunch will not be charged. Additionally, students meeting one of the high school academy course requirements will be exempt from these fees. In summary, the main objective is to accelerate learning for students facing substantial gaps, again emphasizing the importance of keeping students on track for graduation. The high school program is designed specifically for students to attend classes in person, even though it involves a reduction in enrichment activities. Teachers play a crucial role in providing immediate feedback and clarification, aiding students in grasping concepts and addressing misconceptions promptly. To ensure the program's effectiveness, criteria have been developed collaboratively with administrators, ensuring a focused approach on student advancement. Moreover, the involvement of reading specialists highlights the dedication to addressing particular learning requirements within this framework. Thank you for your time. I'm happy to answer any questions.
Dr. Walker?
I have a quick question. The addition of reading specialists, is that more reading specialists or is that brand new this year?
That's brand new this year.
Okay, and the purpose will be to provide remedial support just like they do during the normal school year?
Correct.
Okay.
So they'll target the students that have severe reading gaps and provide that small group instruction in elementary, middle, and high.
All 3 levels?
All
Okay.
3 levels.
That was my next question. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I see no additional questions, so thank you for the
Thank you.
presentation. The last item is the Special Education Annual Plan and Report. Ms. Edwards.
Thank you again, Ms. Swigert. Dr. Craig Pinello has led our Department of Exceptional Learning as director for well over a decade with excellence. Tonight, he will bring to you the annual plan for special education, but he will also present some highlights of the work that we do collaboratively with our schools, of which we are extremely proud. Craig, thank you for being here tonight.
Thank you very much, Ms. Edwards. Good evening, Chair Swigert, Vice Chair Mercer, members of the board, Dr. Cotton, and staff. It's my privilege to present an overview of the proposed Special Education Annual Plan Part B flow-through application for the 2024-2025 school year. For your convenience, the Special Education Annual Plan has been loaded on your board docs program for review. A copy of the annual plan is also available publicly on the Chesapeake Public Schools website. Tonight, I will briefly explain how this document is organized. Under the provisions of the Individuals with Disabilities Education Act, IDEA, local education agencies are required to submit an annual plan for providing special education and related services to children with disabilities. The Special Education Annual Plan serves as a formal agreement between a local school board and the Virginia Department of Education for implementing federal and state laws and regulations governing these services. Accordingly, the disbursement of state and federal funds appropriated for the education of children with disabilities is contingent upon the approval of this plan and each of its components. We are very fortunate to have received assistance during the development of our plan from the Virginia Department of Education, our school board attorneys, and members of our local Special Education Advisory Committee who have had the opportunity to review the annual plan. Let's look at the plan's first requirement beginning on page 1 of your draft and continuing through page 5. These pages of the plan address local education agency assurances and certifications. Each school division is required to maintain current policies and procedures that facilitate compliance with federal and state regulations. This includes the superintendent's certification on page 1 of the annual plan that verifies Chesapeake Public Schools policies and procedures are aligned to the Individuals with Disabilities Education Act and its accompanying regulations. The next section of the annual plan, pages 6 and 7, address the General Education Provisions Act, which requires school divisions to identify any potential barriers that may impact participation in any of our programs. I'm pleased to report that we have not identified any barriers in any of our school programs. Page 8 verifies that the Chesapeake Public Schools has established an interagency agreement with the local jail associated with the provision of special education and related services. The planning process requires that a copy of any revised agreement be submitted with our annual plan. We have not revised our agreement since July 8, 2021. The current agreement has been included for your review in board docs. On page 9, you will find the school division's report on the implementation of the 2021-2022 annual plan, along with a brief list of accomplishments attained during this period. In the past and currently, the implementation of the annual plan is directly tied to the provision of special education teacher and paraprofessional salaries and benefits. Page 10, Maintenance of Effort, serves as documentation of the projected expenditures for the school division's total special education program for 2024-2025. The maintenance of effort regulation requires school divisions to spend at least the same amount of local or local plus state dollars for a current school year on the delivery of special education and related services as were spent in a previous year. Currently, we are in compliance with this expectation. Page 11 of our draft plan addresses coordinated early intervening services and proportionate set-aside. Coordinated early intervening services may be required of a school division that is significantly disproportionate in its identification, placement, and/or discipline practices with regard to students with disabilities. Chesapeake Public Schools is not required to provide coordinated early intervening services and does not choose to do so voluntarily. Proportionate set-aside refers to the amount of funds that are allocated to provide identified special education services to students with disabilities who are privately or parentally placed in private schools or homeschooled. Chesapeake Public Schools uses its set-aside funds to provide speech and language services to identified students. The last requirements of our annual plan begins on page 12 and consists of 2 grant applications. Please note that pages 12 and 15 do not apply to Chesapeake Public Schools, as we do not submit joint applications with any other agencies. Pages 13 and 14 include the IDEA Part B, Section 611 grant application. This application delineates the school division's planned expenditures for the federal monies available for the education of students with disabilities in grades kindergarten through 12th grade. The final pages of the annual plan, pages 16 and 17, include the IDEA Part B, Section 619, Early Childhood Special Education Grant application. The funds from this grant are used for the delivery of early childhood and preschool special education services. This completes the requirements of the 2024-2025 Special Education Annual Plan. However, I do have some additional exciting information to share with you regarding programming supported by our department, the Department of Exceptional Learning. I'd like to provide just a few highlights associated with our special education programs. As you know, we are very proud of our transition programming for our students with disabilities and continue to see success in programs such as Project Search, a transition program at the Chesapeake Regional Medical Center, and Serving Success, a specialized coffee shop program for our high school students at the Chesapeake Career Center. Additional notable accomplishments of our transition program include our Skill Builders program at the Chesapeake Career Center, community-based instruction and work experiences, and ongoing series of workshops facilitated by our transition specialists that provide information to both students and their families. Next, I want to celebrate the success of our Summer Summit for Exceptional Learners that occurred on August 9th and 10th, just this past summer. With a focus on professional development efforts addressing literacy, behavioral programming, and high-leverage practices for exceptional learners, our conference was attended voluntarily by over 300 staff members, including classroom teachers, school administrators, central office administrators, and various other support staff. The Department of Exceptional Learning has remained steadfast in our belief that our people are what make a difference for students, and that we must be diligent in our commitment to building staff individually and collectively regarding strategies and interventions that support our students and our students with disabilities. Finally, although we continue to focus on academic outcomes for our students with disabilities, I'm extremely happy to report that we exceed the average accountability scores across the Commonwealth in all reported areas: reading, math, science, and history. Even more impressive is the success of our students when compared with other local divisions in our region. Over the past several years, our department has made an intentional effort to align our efforts instructionally with other departments in the Division of Teaching and Learning. This has involved establishing supervisory responsibilities and practices in our department designed to increase our attention to response-driven outcomes for students, as well as committing key members of the exceptional learning team to collaborate closely with our core content area supervisors. This has enhanced our ability to focus on critical instructional outcomes for our students with disabilities. Our efforts are definitely paying off. As you can see in this chart, Chesapeake Public Schools students with disabilities are doing very well relative to comparisons across the Commonwealth and locally. Our student success is greater than 10 percentage points in nearly all categories. So the yellow piece, indicates us, and you can see we're kind of overlooking everybody else on that chart there. We're very proud of what we're doing, folks. Here's another look at our pass rates. The tall red line represents Chesapeake Public Schools. This chart clearly shows our success compared to other divisions. Our data additionally shows that over the last 3 years, we have narrowed the achievement gap between our students with and without disabilities by 8 percentage points. As you are aware, outcomes for students with disabilities are tightly tied to our overall accountability standards. Our continuous improvement efforts for students with disabilities will certainly continue as we endeavor to help students succeed at even greater levels. Looking at this data, I think you can agree that there is much to celebrate regarding our students with disabilities in Chesapeake Public Schools. That concludes my presentation for this evening. If there are no concerns that need to be addressed regarding the proposed Special Education Annual Plan Part B flow-through application, then this item will be placed on the consent agenda for approval at the next school board meeting scheduled for April 15th, 2024. I'd like to sincerely thank each of you for your support and interest in serving our students with disabilities, and I'm happy to answer any questions you might have at this time.
Dr. Walker?
I don't have a question, but I just wanted to say kudos to your department, Dr. Pinello. Thank you for, those statistics were amazing. So thanks for sharing those with us. And also, we've had an opportunity to congratulate different people on different positions, but I just want to say congratulations on your retirement.
Thank you very much.
And thank you for all the work you've done for Chesapeake, and Chesapeake will definitely miss you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Mr. Mercer?
Dr. Pinella, when Dr. Edwards introduced you tonight and she said over 10 years, I was thinking about that because it's no secret your successor was named this evening by our superintendent. But 10 years is an awful long time at a job directing special education, exceptional students.
It's been 14, by the way.
14. I thought it was longer than that. I think that may be a record that's been done because I've known some of the other people in the time that I've been here, and I want to say that I think you've been able to do that for all of those years because you are a person of remarkable character and integrity. And I thank you for all because it has not always been a pleasant ride. You and I over the years have seen times where you have had to stand up and smile when there were some people not saying such nice things about the department and even sometimes yourself. And you did it with such character and that you disarmed them in so many cases. And I appreciate it. And I hope that whatever doors open up for you, you're going to have a great retirement. But we will miss you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for that report.
If I may say again, thank you for all those years of support. I haven't done it alone. I work with amazing people in the department. I hope you give them the same amount of support that you've given me all these years. It is a tough job, but every job's tough if you do it right, and I feel like we do it right. So thank you again for your support, and thank you for your time.
Thank you. At this time, we are moving on to the action agenda, and the only item that we have is the VSBA School Law Conference. Dr. Smith.
Thank you, Chair Swigert. I would like to share this opportunity with the board. The Virginia School Boards Association is holding its school law conference on May 31st in Richmond. If there are any board members who wish to attend this conference, please raise your hand. Seeing none, this concludes my item.
Thank you, Dr. Smith. We will now move on to the superintendent's report. Dr. Cotton.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Members of the board, I just have a few calendar updates this evening. Please be reminded that Friday, March 29th, 2024 is a teacher work day. And of course, not that I need to remind anybody, but spring break is April 1st through the 5th, 2024, and all administrative offices will be closed on April 1st, 2024. Also, our next school board planning meeting, it's a planning meeting, not a regular board meeting, will be held on April 11th, 2024 at 4:30 p.m. With that, I'm happy to share our spotlight for this evening. Thank you again for time tonight to present my superintendent spotlight. It's my last one before everyone takes a much-deserved spring break. First up, I'd like to thank the Chesapeake Virginia Beach chapter of Delta Sigma Theta sorority for their recent donation to Oscar Smith Middle School. Their Arts and Letter Committee donated over 200 brand new books and a hand-painted book cart by a local artist to the school. This effort was supported by Mrs. Leslie Russell, Administrator of Federal Programs, Dr. Sheree Brown, Title I Instructional Administrator, Mrs. Amy Siegel, Supervisor of Library and Media Services, and Ms. Nancy Sweat, Director of Curriculum and Instruction. We had a great chance to check out Instructional Innovations Grant in action at the recent Friends of the Foundation annual meeting. I'd like to thank the Chesapeake Educational Foundation for their support of these grant opportunities for our teachers. Students from Grassfield STEM Academy taught us to fly drones and demonstrated how they are learning to code and build virtual reality experiences with their grant money. They even taught me how to fly a drone, so that's really saying something there. We were all very impressed with the grant applications for this school year are due this week and are available on the foundation website. I'd like to thank the members of the board who joined us last Wednesday night for the first of 2 public forums hosted by our School Safety Task Force. The task force was able to provide updates and engage in important discussions with our community. If you are unable to attend, don't worry. We will host a second one at Western Branch High School on May 22nd, 2024. To wrap up tonight, I'd like to celebrate several employees. Mrs. Leslie Sarver from Hickory High School was recently named the Virginia Student Council Association Advisor of the Year. In her nomination letter, her principal, Dr. Donna Weingan, shared that Leslie actively solicits feedback from her colleagues and her student body and effectively uses it to improve our school's culture and climate. I'd also like to congratulate Miss Alyssa Formica from Great Bridge Middle School, who was named the Chesapeake Rotary Educator of the Year. Ms. Formica is known for being a dedicated PE teacher who goes above and beyond by supporting her colleagues, serves as co-athletic director, and even a school bus driver. Thank you to the Rotary for honoring our educators, especially a fine educator like Ms. Formica. Madam Chair and board members, this completes my spotlight.
Thank you, Dr. Cotton. Last on our agenda this evening is board member items. Does any board member have an item to bring before the group? Mr. Mercer.
Well, she's not going to like it, but Ms. Lucente, I understand tonight is it. In fact, this is the last day and everything, and we will miss you. You and I go back a long ways. I'm not going to. How many years have you been? 18. Okay. Yes. And you and I have had our annual disagreements, and yet at every time we've been able to work out. And most importantly, we've realized that we want it to the best for the schools and for the students and for the teachers and administrators of the city. And you've had that at your heart. And I, for one, will miss you. I miss your character. Yes, you are a person of deep faith, and we will be less of a school system because of your absence. And we wish you Godspeed, just as we did Dr. Pinella, in whatever endeavors lie ahead for you.
Agreed. Seeing no other board member comments, I do want to take just a moment to wish a very happy birthday to board member Mike Lamonia, who celebrated last week. We hope you had a great birthday. And with that, we will call this meeting adjourned.